Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Vlogust day 29, I want to say, 29, I'm not sure what day this is going up, but I don't have a video for one of the days this week and I was just about to start on my little batch cooking things while I have some energy because I'm not feeling too well today. But while I have some energy, I wanted to get a start on all the little food prep that I plan to do this week. So if I don't feel great the next couple of days, because it's coming in waves, this whatever it is, cold, I think I decided it was a fold at the weekly weigh-in, which I've just filmed a couple of hours ago. A fold, it's between a flu and a cold, because it's not quite serious enough to be a flu, but it's a little bit more serious than a cold. It's a fold. Anyway, like I said, while I've got the energy, I'm getting a start on all the food prep that I'm doing this week. So I thought I would make a video about this because it might help someone. Some people might enjoy this. I love watching these kind of videos. I am obsessed at the minute with Jamarelle Stewart, or Jamarelle Stewart. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce her name, but she does so much batch cooking and freezer cooking. She has a family of 10, whereas I just have the two of us, and sometimes a Mark. Most nights a Mark. So let me show you where I am at the minute because I have literally just started. So the first thing I'm doing is I've got my jacket potatoes prepped and I've preheated my oven. I'm going to make some stuffed potatoes or stuffed jacket potatoes. I've got to bake all these first before I can go any further with this part. So what I've done is I have washed all the potatoes, cut them, sliced them a little bit down the middle, not all the way through, just maybe a third of the way through. I have put salt and pepper on for seasoning and sprayed them with some fry light, and then I'm going to pop them in for an hour and a half to let them bake. So let's do that now. So now the jacket potatoes in, I can actually get on with tonight's dinner, which is a roast chicken dinner. That's what we're having. I'm going to do this in my slow cooker today because I've been loving slow cooker roasts. They're just so much easier and fuss free than regular roast done in the oven, and the meat just seems a lot more tender when you do it in the slow cooker. It's just nicer to eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a couple of onions to put on the bottom of the slow cooker, and then I'll get that on. So I've set my slow cooker to high because I am starting lunchtime-ish and I want this to be ready for tonight, so it'll take about 4 hours on high. And this slow cooker, by the way, I have had for about 12 years. I got it from Argos. It was the cheapest one that they had. It was like £20 or something. And I use this baby quite a lot and it has lasted me well. So I highly recommend this Cookworks range at Argos. It's cheap, but it lasts and it's durable. Is that the right word? It's lasted 12 years. I've had this longer than I've had Ali. Anyway, what I've got in here at the bottom is 2 onions halved and just lying at the bottom, and I'm going to pop my chicken on top of that. Some salt, some pepper, put some garlic in there. Oh, garlic granules. Because I have no fresh garlic, and I'm also going to put some lemon juice in because I wish I had the foresight to think that I would need a fresh lemon for this, but I didn't, and I want to have lemon and garlic chicken, so just going to squeeze some in and hope it's not too lemony or not lemony enough, who knows, but it's just for a little bit of seasoning. And you don't need to put water in this, but I'm going to put water in it because I actually want a stock for soup that I'm making tomorrow. I'm going to make a chicken and rice soup tomorrow, and I'm wanting this to be the base of the stock, or this stock to be the base, that's what I mean. So that's tonight's dinner done. Just got to peel some potatoes in that. And now I'm going to make a start on the lasagna for, well, I'd actually planned to have this last night, but I wasn't well yesterday. Watch my weekly weigh-in, I will link it up. So I didn't get it made, or we didn't have it last night, but I'm going to make this now, and then I will freeze all the portions, and we'll have one of the days when I'm at work, Wednesday or Thursday this week, and then we'll have one and some other time, maybe the following week when I'm at work, because it's just nice and easy for Mark to chuck in the microwave or the oven if he wants to. What I'm trying to do now, because I've been back at work for a while and I'm getting into the swing of the things. When I first started, I was getting Mark just things that he could chuck in the oven for him and Ali. And I mean oven food, frozen food, it's not always the greatest. So I'm trying to make some homemade ready meals for them so that they're still getting, you know, decent food. So this week I am making a soup for one day and a lasagna for one day. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut two of these two onions up. Not two of these onions, these two onions up. I'm just going to chop them up. Okay, I'm already changing my mind because that looks like quite a lot of onion, and Mark and Ali, they aren't keen on onion. And also, these are the only onions that I have left, and I need them for the soups. I'm making two soups, so I'm going to keep half of one for tomorrow's soup, and there's half of one there for today's soup. And then I'm just going to maybe pop in some more veg into the bolognese. I normally make speedy bolognese, but I still got a couple of tubs of that in the fridge. This is not bolognese that I'm making. The end result won't be bolognese, it'll be lasagna, but the best start to a lasagna is a good bolognese. So what I'm going to do is add some onion powder to top up the onion flavour, and I'm also going to put in some peppers because I have quite a few peppers in the fridge. So just going to spray my pan with fry light and pop the onions in, let them soften before I add the mince and everything else. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Almost. So these peppers have been in my fridge for a good couple of weeks. They're still fine. This one's starting to go a little bit soft. But what happens is I usually get them every week in a shop, and I've just not been eating them as fast as I've been buying them, really. And this is why things like bolognese and that, they're really good for using up leftover veg and soup. Just using up all the scraggly fridge ends and stuff. I try not to waste anything if I can. Just found another green pepper, so that's going in. You know what I just realised is that I don't need to talk you through all these steps for bolognese or anything. I already have a video on speedy bolognese, so I will link that up wherever it goes. It won't be exactly the same as that, but the base ingredients, the herbs and everything, the mince and all that are the same. It's just I always change up the veg, what I'm putting in. Just depends on what I have in the fridge really, what I fancy putting in. Okay, I'm now on to the prep for the butternut squash soup. This is my soup pot. I don't know why it has that ring round it. I don't know why. But I've had this bag of the butternut squash chunks in my freezer for months. And it was with the intention of making butternut squash soup, but I never got around to it. So I'm making sure that I do, because I'm trying to get rid of everything in my freezer. Well, not get rid of it, just try and use the stuff that I haven't been using. Make some space, because my freezer's just full of bags of bits and bobs So that's my intention this week, to try to use quite a lot of that stuff. So this is one of them, the butternut squash chunks. I'm going to make butternut squash soup. So the heat is on in my pan, just going to spray it with fry light. And I've already diced that half an onion, so I'm going to chuck that in there. I'll cook that for a few minutes and then I'll add the rest of the ingredients. I also prepped my potatoes for my roast potatoes for tonight's dinner while I was peeling the potatoes for the butternut squash soup. You need one large potato, and I think I've got enough to make like 2 portions for what I normally make. So I've done like 4 small potatoes because I just get this bag from Tesco's and they're mostly little potatoes. So I've got 4 small potatoes. I've got a litre of chicken stock, vegetable stock. I may need more of that, but I'll just see how I go. And also, I've also got my bag of butternut squash chunks. You'll have to excuse the mess that's lying about, guys. I'm not an Instagram cook or anything like that. I'm just a regular old mum making little videos that might interest people, and you know, this is real life. When you cook, you do make a lot of mess. So, where am I? Oh, I'm cooking my onion. Just to give you a little indication of how long this is taking, I put the timer on for an hour and a half, 1 hour 30 minutes for the baked potatoes I'm doing, and in that time I've got the chicken done, I've done my Bolognese, I've got my potatoes peeled for tonight's dinner and for my butternut squash soup, and I'm now starting on my butternut squash soup. Alright, all the ingredients are in now. The whole bag of butternut squash, the 4 potatoes, I put some garlic powder in there because I've not got any fresh garlic, I think I've said that already, and some extra onion powder because there's only half an onion in there. And I also had to make up another half a litre, well actually I made up a litre of the vegetable stock, but I only put in another half a litre in. So there's 1.5 litres in there now. It's just because when I blend this or put it in the food processor, it goes really thick and I don't like it too thick. I like, you know, medium thick consistency to my soup. So I still have some on reserve if it's going to get too thick. But if not, I'll just freeze that and keep it for something else. The reserved vegetable stock I'm talking about. Oh, and I'm only using these little stock pots, the Knorr ones. That's all I've used for my vegetable stock. So they're nice and easy, quick to use, and they taste alright, they taste quite good. So now I'm just going to bring this to the boil and turn it down to simmer for about 30 minutes or so. Yeah, I think it's only going to need about 30-40 minutes to simmer, and then I'll put it in the food processor. Okay, it's about an hour later now and the jacket potatoes are finished. I'm just leaving them to cool. They've only got maybe another half an hour and they'll be nice. I need to be able to handle them to scoop out all the innards. Oh, what a horrible word innards is, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to scoop all that out to mix it with what I have, which I'll show you in a second. This is still simmering away. I like to boil it down until the liquids, most of the liquid has gone. It is nearly there, it just needs maybe another 20 minutes or so. Potatoes still not cooked. The butternut squash soup is done. I'm just leaving that to cool before I put it in the food processor and blend it. I've also got these things ready to mix with the potato and make our twice baked potatoes. So Ali's having ham and cheese. Cheese is already grated. This is smoked ham and this is mine. I've got some spring onions and some ham, and I'm going to mix some cottage cheese in with it. And I'm going to top it with some of this mozzarella. It's the reduced fat stuff. So I think I'll only need like 1 slice on each potato, and I'll have 8 potatoes, so maybe don't have enough. Oh, I'll chop it up and make it work. But that'll be 12 Syns altogether, but it should be about 2 Syns per potato. No, it'll be less than that per potato actually. I'll work it out. So here's my Slimming World stuffed potatoes already assembled. So I just mixed all the ingredients with the potato, and then I put some mozzarella on top. I managed to work it all out with the mozzarella. So these work out at 1.5 Syns, approximately 1.5 Syns per potato for the mozzarella, and that's all. So if I'm having 2, that's 3 Syns, obviously 4.5 or 3. But I use most of my Syns for meals in that anyway, so that is absolutely fine with that. So that's mine, and now I'm going to show you Ali's. These are all portioned up. They're just cheese and ham, and I've got 4 in one tub and 4 in another. My thoughts are for Mark and Ali, so one will go in the freezer and one is for tomorrow night's dinner. If Mark doesn't come, that's fine, I won't put them on. I'll just put them in the tub and back in the freezer for Ali another night. And he's having 2 for dinner tomorrow, and that'll be with a gammon steak. And my ones, these are the 2 boxes that are for the freezer. One's got 3 in it, one's got 2 in it, and there's also one in the fridge already for tomorrow night, and that's got 3 in it. And I'll just be having that with maybe some roasted tomatoes or mushrooms or something like that. Oh yeah, label your tubs when you put them in the freezer, or you'll end up like me thinking you're pulling out Bolognese and you're not, you're pulling out curry or something. Okay, I am now going to start assembling my lasagna because I don't need to cook anything else for that, and then I am going to do Mark and Ali's. I'm not sure if I have enough lasagna sheets. I might need to nip out for more, and also cheese. I've only got a little tiny bit of cheese left, so I might need to pick up another block of cheese for them. But at the minute I'm using this as my bechamel sauce, the white sauce for lasagna. It's cottage cheese mixed with salt and pepper, onion powder and a little bit of mustard powder, just to give it some flavouring. And then I'm going to start by putting in my mince. And I've got a whole ball of mozzarella here cubed, and I'm just going to pop that on top instead of cheddar cheese, which is what I would normally have, and try and make it even on each side, because this is going to be 2 portions for me, or maybe 3 actually. It might work out to be 3 portions. So altogether the mozzarella is equal to 12. So if I divide this portion of lasagna into 3, that would equal 4 Syns for this, or part of my healthy extra A. So I just started making Ali's and Mark's lasagna, and I've already run out of pasta on the first layer, so I'm going to have to nip round to the shop and pick up another packet, which is so annoying because I literally only need 3 or 4 sheets. But I'm going to make the bechamel sauce first, and then I'll pop round because I need to get cheese for the top of this lasagna as well. Also, before I even started doing the lasagna, I had put the butternut squash soup in the food processor. Can use a hand blender, it's easier to use a hand blender, but my hand blender is long gone. I overused that when Ali was a baby and stuff, and I just never replaced it because I really didn't need to. I have a food processor, it blends it just as well. So I got 4 individual portions out of this. Well, I'm assuming that's 4 individual portions. These might be a bit too much, but I've put them in individual portions because they're going to do me for lunches when Ali's at school and stuff. So like I've got to keep 2 out for Monday and Tuesday, Now I'll put these two in the freezer for maybe next week or over the weekend or something. I think Ali does like this, but I can't remember. But if he likes it, he can have some. I am making another soup tomorrow, so it's not like I'm going to be short of it. Okay, that's the boys' lasagna finished, and mine's I'm just in the middle of portioning up. It's not the prettiest lasagna in the world, but it does taste good. I've tried it already, it tastes good. I mean, it's not a regular lasagna, but it tastes good. It's good enough to eat. It's good enough to curb my lasagna craving. And I also had enough mince left over from the lasagna meat to make another sin-free Bolognese portion. Because, you know, I've not got enough in my freezer already. So here are the results at the end of today's cooking. I'm being rewarded by a nice roast chicken dinner. Ali and Mark have got little Yorkshire puddings that I found in the freezer. I wish I knew I had them last week because we could have had them with the beef. Well, they could have had them with the beef. But as it stands, I just found them this week when I'm having a rummage around my freezer to see what I need to get rid of. So I'm having the roast chicken, roast potatoes, tender stem broccoli and vine tomatoes, roasted vine tomatoes. And they've got Yorkshire puddings instead of the vine tomatoes. I've only used half the chicken, so I've put the other half in this little tub, and I'm going to obviously cool it down, put it in the freezer, and that'll do us a roast dinner another time, maybe next week. Just saves buying more, because I did get quite a large chicken because I wanted to have quite a lot of bits coming off it for the soup. This is all the other crap that's left from the chicken. I think there's still some in the stock as well. I'm just going to let this cool down and put it in the fridge, and I'll deal with it tomorrow because I'm done now. I'm still feeling the effects of this fold that I've had, and I'm exhausted now. And that's the stock. I'm just going to actually let that cool down and put it in the fridge as well, and I'll be back with you tomorrow to make the soup. Good morning and welcome to another day in my food preparation. Today's Tuesday, I didn't actually do any food preparation yesterday because we're having the chicken and rice soup today for dinner, and I didn't want to cook it yesterday and then it'd be sitting in the fridge again. Also, I ran out of Tupperware to put everything in, so I thought it was just better that I cook it all today, and then whatever's left, I've got a few tubs now because we had the baked potatoes and stuff last night. Whatever's left will hopefully fit in the couple of tubs that I do have. So let me show you where I am at already in today's food preparation. I'm not very far. So I've just preheated my oven to 180 and I am putting on the chicken. I'll show you what's in here. This is just 3 little chicken breasts, and this is for my lunch. I'm going to make chicken fried rice this week. So I've just put in salt and pepper for seasoning and some, I think you can see it, some soy sauce in there. So I'm just going to wrap that up and plonk it in the oven for 20 minutes. When I told Ali that we were having homemade soup tonight for dinner, he asked if I could go to the shop and get a crusty bread, a nice loafy bread or something to have with it. But I have a bread maker and I have bags of strong white flour in the cupboard. I had like 2 bags that were mostly empty but had quite a lot in it. Well, had enough in it to make a loaf of bread, and I've not pulled my bread maker out for, well, since before I started Slimming World, since maybe Christmas. I think Christmas was the last time I had my bread maker out, so I'm going to use the bread maker and make him a homemade bread. I said to him this morning before he left for school that I might do it, and he was really excited, so this is just for him. Actually, Mark might have some. He's coming tonight as well, so he'll probably have some of the homemade bread. So this is my bread maker that's been a little bit unloved in the past 8 months or so since I started Slimming World. Mark actually got me this a couple of years ago for a Christmas gift. It's probably one of my favourite Christmas gifts I've ever received. I've always wanted a bread maker. And I did use it. I used to use it lots and lots and lots and lots. Oh, it's a bit dusty on top. I did clean it in the inside. It's just a little dusty on top. Yeah, I used to use it all the freaking time. And since I started Slimming World and I can't have, you know, nice crusty loaves of bread with my soup. I've just stopped doing it. And how selfish is that? Because Ali loves homemade bread. His little reaction this morning was just so cute. I say so cute. I shouldn't say that. He's a high school kid now. Anyway, what I'm going to put in here is 400 grams of the strong white flour. This is a mixture of 2. Because like I said, I had ends. Bags of flour with just ends. Does that make sense? Bits in the bottom of both. And I'm going to need to put you down because I can't do the rest one-handed. And then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of, it's the Easy Bake yeast. A teaspoon of that. I had to go out and buy some vegetable oil because I don't have any in the house. I just have Frylight in the house now, and this is the only one they had at the little shop. It's just £1, so I wasn't spending too much money. But I need 4 tablespoons of this, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, need a teaspoon of salt, and 225 milliliters of water, of warm water or lukewarm water, and that's it ready to pop on. So my bread machine is already set to the basic setting, which will take 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna, this is going to kill me. The smell of freshly baked bread is one of my favourite smells, as it is for a lot of people, and this is just going to kill me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit and work all the Syns out for this bread and see if it's worth having a slice. Guys, that's 102 Syns for this whole loaf of bread. I don't know how many slices I'm going to get out of that, but that's, 20? Would I get, I'd have to get at least 20 slices to be able to have a slice and still be within my Syns. Yeah, well, I'm not having any Syns today. Like I said in another video, I always check off 7 Syns at the start of the day. So I have 8 left to play with, and I'm not, what I've got planned to eat today, I'm having butternut squash for lunch, which is free, and I'm having the chicken and rice soup for dinner, and that's free. So I do have 8 Syns left, but I don't think I would be able to manage that on that bread. So I'm going to have to say no to the bread. So this is my little measuring thing for rice. It's a little pudding dish, I think it is, but I use it. It's perfect for portioning up, like one person is one little tub. Oops, rice everywhere. This is tricky one-handed. Okay, I need 2 hands for this. God, I have got it absolutely everywhere. Okay, rice is cooking, the chicken is done. I cut one in half just to make sure it was cooked all the way through. And I've got some peppers to put in the chicken fried rice. I thought I had a little scraggly bag of stir-fry veg in the freezer, but I didn't. It was this that I seen, so I'm just going to put them in. It's still speed. And now I'm going to prep this Gallia melon and cut it all up, and I'll be taking some to work, and Ali will just probably munch on it as well. This little bit hasn't fitted in the tubs that I have. Like I said, I don't have a lot of tubs, but I had allocated tubs for the melon. and this is what's left. I'm just going to have that with my lunch, so I'll just pop it in the fridge just now. That's the rice done, and usually when you make egg fried rice or stir fried rice or anything like that, you usually use day old rice, so you cook it one day and then, oh, dogs just came in. You cook it one day and then you put it in the fridge, but this is what I do. It works just as well and it saves the faff the day before, so I just run it under the cold tap for a good 15 minutes or so and it just cools it right down. Okay, so that's cold now and that is draining. I'm just going to let that drain for a few minutes while I've swished up 2 eggs in here, my pan's on, I'm going to spray it with 5. Like, this pan, I know it's seen better days, but it's my favourite pan. It is cast iron. I got it from my mum. Probably mentioned this before. I love this pan so much. I can do so many food in it. So much food I cook in this pan. Actually, usually I cook my spag bol in it. I don't know why I didn't do it the other day, but there you go. Anyway, just gonna chuck the eggs in here and swish them up a bit. Don't want it to be a proper omelette. Also, I'm going to chuck in this, which is the juices from the chicken, mostly the soy sauce because it was chicken breast. Oh no, I can't do this one-handed. Cook that with my egg and get some flavouring in my egg. Chuck in the rice. A good stir so that the egg is all mixed in with the rice. And then I'm going to throw on a load of soy sauce. I really don't have measurements for this, it's just I throw a load on and then I cook it for a while. And then taste it, and if it needs more I'll add more. So I'm just going to heat all that rice back through again. And then I'll add the chicken. So I've added the chicken and the peppers and that's it basically done. I gave it a few minutes for the peppers to cook, but they don't need long, they are frozen. They were frozen. They don't take long to cook at all. And that's it done. Okay, I've only got 2 tubs at the minute for my lunches and this is going to be for the 3rd day. I'm actually going to, when I've had my butternut squash soup, I'll pop that in the tub once I've used it. And then I'll pop that in the freezer for, oh, bleeding flies. It's because I've got the back door open for the dogs. Hello, Rosie. Hello, Rosie. You no show without punch. You were outside sunbathing. Anyway, back to my food, that bloody fly. So I've got these 3 portions for my lunches and I've actually made so much more than I thought I had. So normally I would actually just shove these in the freezer, but I've run out of tubs like I said. So what I'm going to do is we'll each have a bowl of soup tonight with our dinner. Mark and Ali will have their crusty bread and we'll have a bowl of this chicken fried rice. It's a lot of rice because it's chicken and rice soup and then rice here. So, or even I'll make the soup for Ali coming home and he can have that with his bread and we'll both have a bowl, and then later on tonight we can have another bowl of this. But this needs to be eaten today because I've nowhere to put it. I've not even got room in my fridge. Sorry about the washing machine. I know my washing machine's always on. Look what's happened because I started talking to them. He wants to play with his football. Look at my fuchsia. It's the nicest part of my garden. I'm not showing you the rest. You can probably tell for the state here. Okay, it's a few hours later now and I've just started on my chicken and rice soup. So I've brought the stock up that was left in the slow cooker the other night. Just brought that to the boil. And I've chopped that half an onion, and I've chopped some carrots. And I've picked the bones, and this is the chicken that I have. And I've made up 2 litres of chicken stock using the vegetable stock pots. No, not vegetable, using the chicken ones this time. I can never get it right. I've made up the chicken stock pots because I want to add water to this, but I don't want it just to water the flavour down. So I'm going to add my veg. Oh. And then I'm going to add one of these little pudding dishes of rice. I usually would put 2 in, but because we're having the chicken fried rice now as well, I don't want too much rice. And then I'm going to add chicken. Just bung it all in and let it cook for a couple of hours. Then I'm going to top that right up to the top with some of this stock. And you know, the rice will absorb some of the moisture that's in this, so I will need to top it up again. But I'm just going to bring that to the boil just now. Then I'll turn it down to simmer for a little while. And maybe in half an hour I'll come back and test it, or taste it, and see what it needs. If it needs salt, pepper, more stock, any other herbs or that. I'll just come and check all that in a little bit. And this is the end results of today's batch cooking. And that also marks the end of this batch cook video. I know it's very long. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogust Day 30. We're nearly there.